You know, there's one thing I want to make sure I do this year is get a lot more of my holiday recipes out there. Last year, Thanksgiving and Christmas just really crept up on me, and I didn't do near as what I wanted to. So hopefully I can get a little bit more in this year before it's January. But today we're going to be making, you know, I love holiday cake rolls. You got your pumpkin roll, you got your spice roll. There's just all kinds of them different cake rolls. But I'm wanting to make a holiday vanilla cake roll. They are so pretty, and it has a wonderful filling inside. So we're going to get busy and we're going to make one. And if it turns out like I want it to, I'll make another one at Christmas time. I think if this one turns out like my other ones do, I'll send this one with Danny to the bus shop and let all the guys eat it. So it won't go to waste, I guarantee you. But I've not ever made the vanilla one. So that's what we're going to do today. So y'all stay with me. Okay, let's talk about our ingredients. Now this is going to be really, I know I say this all the time, this is going to be easy to put together. And you pretty much probably have all the ingredients you need except for maybe the little sprinkles, or if you have some of the edible confetti sprinkle things, they'll work. You want to heat your oven to 450. And you want to use a jelly roll sheet pan. And they measure, this recipe is a 17 by 12. Now my jelly roll pan is actually a 17 and a half by 12 and a half. So it's going to work. But what you don't want to do is get one any smaller, because you don't want your cake to be too thick, because if it does, it won't roll up very pretty. So in this mixing bowl right here, we're going to add 2 eggs, and I've got 3 egg yolks. And there goes my clock. And we're going to put in a half a cup of sugar. Now I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to let this beat for about 5 minutes. It says to beat on high for 5 minutes. You want it to be pale in color, and you want it to be kind of thickened. You know, the recipe says to beat it on high for 5 minutes till pale in color and kind of thickened. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can tell how thick it is and how pale it in color is turned. So now what you want to do is you want to take 1/3 cup of cake flour. Now, if you don't have any cake flour, down in the description box below the video, I'll leave a recipe for just making just a little bit of cake flour. So we got 1/3 cup of cake flour, and I've got, let's see, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I couldn't remember how many tablespoons. I'm going to put them in there, then I'm going to sift them. Just want to kind of sift it over your egg and sugar mixture. That's all you want to do. This is an old sifter, and I think it's seen its last days, but I just love using it. Anything vintage. Y'all seen my vintage Sunbeam Mix Master. Those were made in the 1950s. They're heavy duty. They don't make them like that anymore that I know of. They might, but I'm not sure. But, so you just want to sift that cake flour and the cornstarch over this mixture. Make sure I get it all in there. Now what you want to do, you don't want to beat on with, a beater or anything. You just want to take your spatula and just kind of fold that in. And make sure you go around the sides of your bowl. Go through the middle, around the edge, back through the middle. Kind of fold it in there. I tell you, those chocolate, the Christmas chocolate cake rolls are just wonderful. But I love vanilla, and Danny loves vanilla. And I've got some kids that enjoy vanilla better than they do chocolate. So I wanted to make one of these, test it, see how good it is. And if I like it, I'll make another one at probably Christmas time. You can make this at Thanksgiving. And really and truly, you can put any kind of sprinkles in it, but having the different color sprinkles in it makes it look very, very festive, Christmassy. So I'm going to keep making sure that I've got it all mixed in good. I'm going to kind of go to the bottom and just kind of pull through it. Then I'm going to go around the edge, make sure. Okay, I think I'm good there. So now the next step is to take our 2 egg whites and put them in a clean mixer, and we're going to beat them to a stiff peak. Okay, our next step is to get out Lullabill here, and we're going to take our 2 egg whites and we're going to take a tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to put this on high, and we're going to mix this till a stiff peak. To a stiff peak. And Miss Lori forgot to put her vanilla in a while ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my teaspoon of vanilla in, and I'm going to kind of fold it in. But this is the deal. When my eggs and my sugar was beaten for 5 minutes, I should have had my teaspoon of vanilla in there, and I didn't do it. So make sure y'all do that. Teaspoon of vanilla, and it'll be down there in the recipe. Sometimes my senior moments seem to be happening a lot lately. But I knew there was vanilla in here. I just wasn't paying attention. So I'm just going to try to fold this vanilla in. It would have been better, though, if I'd have done it when I should have. But it'll be good. I just don't want to deflate my mixture here. Okay. Now, we're going to take our egg whites. Let me put my mic back on. Okay, we're going to take our egg whites. In case y'all missed that and didn't hear me, I had to put my teaspoon of vanilla in here because I forgot it. So now we're going to fold in our egg whites. Y'all, this is real life. I'll tell you. If I can get through a recipe and not forget something anymore. But it always turns out. So, we got our egg whites in there. Now we're just going to fold them into the mixture. Just go around and then through the middle. You know, I don't eat a lot of Little Debbie cakes. But if I do, it's a Swiss roll. I just love them. I'll tell you, I can remember as a little girl, well, not too little, they used to have these little cakes, individual, and they were called ho-hos. Do y'all remember those? And of course, things were better back then than they are now. Chocolate tasted so much better. There's just so much artificial mess in them anymore. I don't even eat a candy bar anymore because it just ain't very good. Now, don't get me wrong, every once in a while I'll grab a Hershey chocolate. Just kind of keep folding that in till you get your mixture good and folded in. Just don't overmix it or try to mix it too fast. And for sure, don't do it with your mixer. Okay, we're just about done. Now, I've got some parchment paper on my pan, my jelly roll pan. Let me get it out here. But I haven't greased this or nothing else. It's just parchment paper. And like I said, if you use anything smaller than a 17 by 12, your cake's just going to be too thick, y'all. So, let's pour our cake in here. Now, the sprinkles are not in the cake. The cake is just a beautiful vanilla sponge. Your sprinkles are going to come in your filling and your icing. You know, you think about, there's so much baking to do in the holidays, and you know, used to, I never thought much of it, just done it, but anymore, I just have to write things down and remember things, you know. I don't make as much fudge as I used to, and I need to go back to doing that. I am going to be doing some cookie recipes. I love doing the different kind of cookies for Christmas time. Just make sure you get your batter spread to the edges and all the way to the corners. Remember, the oven is at 450, and we put this in, it's only going to cook about 15 minutes, so keep an eye on it. It's going to cook pretty fast. Now, usually when I put my cake batters in my cake pans, I'll kind of beat them on the counter, but we ain't going to do it with these sponges. Try to get it as even as possible. I know my eyeballs kind of see things differently. I made my son, my oldest son, and my daughter-in-law, when they got married, I made their wedding cake. And at that time, they were redoing my kitchen at the old farmhouse, so it was all tore apart. So in the dining room, I was doing all this, and it turned out really good. But by the time I got it about 30 minutes from the house, it was 3-tier. It was kind of like Leaning Tower of Pisa, but it tasted good, so we were good. Okay, we got it in there. It's not perfect, but we're going to get it in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay, my cake got done in just a little over 13 minutes. So y'all just watch your cake because it'll be different in everybody's oven. And you can see the cake's good and brown. It's done. I took a toothpick and it was done. So what I'm going to do is I have taken, this is what they call a flour sack material. It's a tea towel. That I use in the kitchen. It's made out of flour sack material, and it's real thin. You don't want to use a dish towel that's real thick material. So I've got it sprinkled, and I'm even going to sprinkle just a little bit over the top of my sponge cake. Then I'm going to take it. I'm just going to dump it over my towel. I'm going to take the parchment paper off. Get it off the edges first. I'm going to be real careful that I don't tear my cake. And you can see how thin this cake is, and that's going to be real easy to roll. So we got that off. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more on the inside of the cake. This will be your inside where you'll put your filling. And we're going to start rolling. Now you don't want to do it real tight. Just do it slowly and loosely. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a rack here. I'm just going to set this up here and I'm going to let it cool. Meanwhile, we're going to make our filling to go inside. And we got about a cup of room temperature butter in here. And I'll beat it for about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to add I've got 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, and I'm just going to add about half a cup at a time. You don't want to put it all in there at once. So now I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to keep my mixture on, keep it mixing. Then we're going to add another half a cup. Now I've got some heavy cream, and I'm going to add, at this point I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon. We're going to add another half a cup of confectioner's sugar. I'm going to add another tablespoon of heavy cream. You may have to stir it down a little bit sometimes, just trying to get that off the sides and get my mixture moving again. I'm going to put in another half a cup or so. What you want to do is you just want to get this to the right consistency that you want your buttercream to be. I want mine to be spreadable. I don't want it to be too thick, but I don't want it to be thin either. So I'll go ahead and put some more confectioner's sugar in there. And just keep beating it. And like I said, just watch your consistency. I'll put just a little bit more heavy cream. Recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, but you know, that could differ. Go ahead and put the rest of my sugar in there. And it looks like to me it's going to be pretty much a pretty good consistency. I may have to add just a few more drops of heavy cream. Kind of scrape down the edge of the bowl a little bit. And the way it feels to me, I need just a little bit more heavy cream. Not much. It tastes pretty good. It is. It's really good buttercream. So I'm just going to put another little dash. And that should make it the right consistency for me. So we got our cake over there cooling. And see, there you go. So there it is, everybody. It made a pretty roll cake. The sponge is really light. It's not too sweet. The buttercream is really, really good. And it looks really pretty. Be pretty on your table. So friends, y'all can do it. Make you a vanilla roll cake for your holiday table. It's really good. And it's easy. Y'all seen how easy it was. Y'all can do it. Put it along with your pumpkin rolls, your chocolate roll cakes, your ginger spice roll cakes. I guarantee you'll like it. So anyways, I'm glad y'all hung with me, and I'm glad y'all, or I hope y'all like this video, and I hope y'all like this recipe, and I hope y'all try it, because there's going to be many more to come. So y'all take care, behave yourself, be safe, stay well, and make you a cake roll for this holiday. God bless everybody. We love y'all.